Ego, when I say that word, there's probably baked in meaning in each of our minds of what that word means. It's probably negative, yeah? Like for most of us, when I say ego, initially it calls to mind through everything that we've learned some sort of negative aspect of a human being. Like, oh, that person has an ego, right? Well, the work that we do requires clearly defined terms. And ego is not, like we said, a negative thing. Ego is a necessary thing. And actually, forming an ego is the very first step in human life. So we're born and we're largely like without an identity. We come out like in this just sort of state of pure awareness where we have no sense of ourself until several years into our lives. People, like psychologists have said, even 7 years old, we start to form like a more concrete identity. So if we didn't have an individual identity that's separate from the rest of society and the rest of really nature and reality, what exactly would happen? Yeah, we wouldn't survive. Like, ego is necessary to survive, again, in the same way that a character is necessary for an actor to play a role. They need a well-defined character. And that's what we're going to get into in this session, is actually designing your character consciously rather than just adopting the character that's kind of been downloaded into us through conditioning. So that's a step that many don't take. It's one thing even to realize that you fundamentally are not your ego. Your ego is not who you are, it's how you are. You understand? And one way to look at this is to just ask yourself, has your personality ever changed in your life? Are you the same personality as you were when you were 7? Of course, it's a silly question, of course not, right? Are you even the same exact personality as you were last night, sitting around the campfire? Like, we all had sort of a different demeanor, maybe slight, maybe bigger. We feel different in different settings, different situations. Is your personality the same when you're out partying with your friends? Maybe you've had a few drinks. Is it the exact same as it is in this setting? Our personality, in other words, like our personhood, or we could call our ego, is actually quite malleable. The older we get, the more solidified it becomes, but nonetheless, it can be changed, and it does change in all kinds of different situations. So our goal here is to consciously design the ego person that we are. Most of us don't consciously choose the character that we're playing, and many people in the world I know don't really like the character that they're playing. That's a tragedy, because one of the, in my view anyway, one of the fundamental goals of human life is to deeply enjoy the character that you're playing this time around. And you could say, as again we've been talking about metrics of development, how deeply do you enjoy the character that you're playing in this lifetime? And if you're not enjoying the character, why not update the character so that you enjoy it more?